Welcome to Lunatalks. I'm Kari, and I'm your host. And this is Kari, and she's your host as well. Tonight's special guests, Venus, a real fun guy, and the full flower moon herself.
The flower moon, the flower moon.
Makes me want to do like a hula. I've been wanting to do a hula like all day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lunatalks. So here we are.
How are you doing on this full moon? What is this full moon teaching you, this flower full moon?
Well, it's been pretty packed. It feels like a roller coaster of a full moon. And Scorpio, I think of a kind of that, there's like a fire bite to it.
I did hear that it's really supposed to mess with our relationships.
Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense also because Venus is retrograde in Gemini. May 7th goes retrograde, so that's happening.
Today is the 7th. It happens today.
But we humans oversimplify things. The complexity of love. Maybe Venus has some language for us.
Yeah, maybe Venus can teach us a little bit about love and her experience with it.
The oldest organism on Earth is mycelium. They might know something about.
Oh my gosh, they're the oldest organism on Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they're still here?
Yes, and the largest populating.
They must be getting it on all the time.
Yes, they called it life-affirming. They look for life-affirming partners underground.
They like reach out and hold each other's hands.
Forming new pathways, neural pathways, just like the interwebs.
Wow. Well, it's so funny that you mentioned that, Kari, because our first guest tonight is the fungi himself.
I've been needing a little bit more fungi in my life. Life-affirming fungi.
Or just a fun guy or to hang out with.
Yeah. So a mushroom walks into a bar and the bartender's like, "We don't take your kind here." And the mushroom's like, "Why not? I'm a fun guy."
When we come back, we will be talking directly to the fungi. So ask him all the questions about his kind.
This is exciting. He's a celebrity, really. We're going to have new neural pathways after this conversation formed. Yeah.
This portion of Lunatalks is brought to you by Eros. Eros, getting it on since the beginning.
Welcome back. And here he is, folks, visiting us from down under, Mr. Fungi himself. Mr. Fungi, hello.
Hi, guys. Yeah, having fun. Yeah, just hanging out with some friends here.
I've heard so many good things about you and your fellow mycelium friends.
Well, we're very, very close. You know, we really share a strong connection. We always have. Always have.
Can you share with us, for those that don't know you so well, about what you do under the ground? You've been here for so long.
Oh, boy, how much time do you have? I mean, we do a lot of things under the ground. We are communicating with each other, with other plants, and we are growing. And we got our own kind of World Wide Web going on right under your feet. It's fun. It's so fun.
You guys were also the inspiration for our internet. Is that right?
I got to tell you, we've been networking for a long, long, long time. And we don't want to take credit. I'll definitely say that there are a lot of similarities, and we'll just leave it at that.
Should I call you Mr. Fungi?
Call me whatever you want. My particular breed of fruit is called Amanita. Fun to look at, not so fun to eat. Don't eat me, okay? It's fun. It's so fun.
I heard that you are in constant communication with the moon, and it is the full flower moon. And so I'm just wondering about how that collaboration with the moon really works.
Most of the plants, you know, like the green grass right down here around my feet and trees up there and everything, they work with the sun, you know, which is great. You know, they got their whole photosynthesis thing going on, and that's just good stuff. We really like that. But with me and my friends, we take the night shift. We don't need sunlight to grow. And in fact, we like it cool. We do our best work after dark. We like to party. And so the moon, we go way back, way, way back. She's up there right now, just beautiful, full. Hi, Luna. How are you?
Speaking of partnership, what is the best way that humans can actually be a partner with you in this time?
Our potential's just barely been tapped by y'all. So we're really looking forward to working in partnership with human beings to really unleash the properties that we have. We need human partners in order to be able to express some of that potentiality. Otherwise, we're just hanging out in the forest having a good time. But we can literally change the world. There's more wonders just in your backyard right now than you can even imagine. You should go out there and explore. There are universes just in the forest down the street. There's a universe even before you reach the end of your fingertips. Just explore all the wonders that are around you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fungi. It was wonderful to talk to you. It looks like the moon is coming out, which I know this is your busy time of the day, or
yeah,
night, rather.
Catching some rays right now. Feels good.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw you beam.
I am beaming, moon beaming.
All right. Well, I wish you well on this flower moon, and we'll look forward to connecting with you sometime down the line.
Oh, I'd love to. I mean, like I said, I'm all about connection. And I can tell you for a fact that my brothers and sisters all over the world say hi. They just told me to tell you.
Oh, thanks.
Wow,
We say hi back.
Oh, it's fun. It's so fun.
Just love him.
Ah, such a fun guy. I could see Venus and Fungi getting along really well.
Well, they've probably known each other for years, eons.
It's an interesting time to speak to Venus, to communicate with Venus, because Venus is in retrograde. So it's a time of reflecting, pausing, slowing down to reflect on modes of loving and connecting.
Speaking of a pause, I will be right back.
Philtutia is proud to bring you love and acceptance of self, because you're awesome. And deep down, no one knows that better than you.
So today we are calling in such an honorary guest, Venus, that is stationed in Gemini, moving through Gemini, and to call in this love planet, this hot planet. Call Venus in with our sounds, our
Venus, draw back your bow and please come on our show. Venus? Is that you, Venus?
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Venus.
I heard your call. I heard someone singing my song. Hello.
Hello, Venus.
Hello, Venus.
Wow, it is so nice to see you and connect with you.
Oh, you look amazing. You feel amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do. I feel amazing. Oh.
Wow.
How are you feeling?
A release, just coming to your presence.
I feel a little lightheaded myself, like I might need to put my head between my legs.
I understand. Yeah, me too a little bit. It's so hot. I hope you adjusted the brightness on your devices first.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm lightheaded.
Yeah, you'll have to turn it down a little bit. I'm the second brightest thing in the sky after the moon, at least in your sky.
Is that who I've been seeing up there lately?
It's me.
I thought it was Mars.
Oh, it's me. It's been me the whole time.
Yeah.
You didn't realize you could probably feel it, Sometimes I can even be seen with the naked eye in broad daylight.
Well, Venus, this is love in the time of Corona we're experiencing down here on Earth.
Yes, it's very typical of me, you think you're the center of your world and then love comes along and suddenly you have a whole new center of gravity and it's someone else. Like there's a magnet in your chest pulling you towards another. And it seems like it's between just you and someone else or a few someone else's, depending on your pleasures. And through that, I finally realized that we're really all connected. We can see the whole solar system just by tuning into one other planet that we find very interesting or that's so bright and hot that it's catching our eye. Oh, someone else is texting me, sorry.
You're very popular, Venus.
I've been getting in touch with a lot of people, all my old loves. We've been texting, just keeping in touch, I myself have really been getting ready to go on a journey to the past. I mean, fantasy is urgent right now.
And is there a fantasy you have for our future that you could help us with?
What if we lived in a world where everyone had room and time for pleasure?
Wow. What if? Just a moment. I have a few more questions that I want to share with you from others who have written in to you today. Are you ready for some questions, Venus?
Sure, I'm ready, yeah.
Dear Venus, I am a fairy mom, not to be confused with a fairy godmother. I am literally the mom of 3 fairies. I have 2 twin daughters that are wonderful, and I just adopted this little guy. And he will not let me put him down for a second. He's struggling with gas and just cries all the time if I put him down. So my question really revolves around balancing love. And at the end of the day, I've been pooped on, I've been peed on. I have fed so many children, so many meals, and I really don't feel like I have anything left for my wonderful fairy partner who needs a lot of love, and really that is the foundation of our family. And me, I don't have anything left for me. So I'm just really struggling with that, and I'm hoping that you can offer some wise words that will help me. Thank you, Venus.
This is a very real fairy problem, having so much that's required of you to give love and none left over. One suggestion I might have is finding a way where you're dipping into your own pleasure, your own fun, while still giving love to another. Perhaps, you tie that baby around you, and it's, instead of a rocking for the baby, it's a dancing for you, finding movement that's really for you, that might shake the baby around too.
We have a few more questions for you, but one of the things I did want to ask you, really, I heard that Venus is the hottest planet.
Yes, it's very true. It's a very hot existence I have.
Dear Venus, what color is love? It can be any color. It can be blue, purple, it can be red, it can be orange, and it can be pink.
I think that's a complete thought unto itself. What color is love? It can be any color. Red is often associated with love, or the heat, like you just asked about. But also, green might be a color emanating from the heart center. Depends on your particular fantasy.
Dear Venus, what even is Venus?
What is Venus? What even is Venus? Venus is love, is playfulness, is love and connection between us and others. Venus is bright, hot. Venus is me. Anything you think about me is Venus. Now, did you say this is a question for a gnome? They're so far away, I've never actually seen one.
Dear Venus, I'm a big fan of your work. Anyways, I got an opportunity to ask you a question and I thought, why not? Anyways, my question is, you being a sister planet and all, what do you make of all of this stuff that's going on planet Earth? The viruses and the global warming and all these different things. And mostly, how do you continue to choose love in a time like this? That's my question. Anyways, I carry this thing around with me, because I'm such a big fan of yours. I hope you're doing well, and hopefully see you around. Bye.
Oh, Shelley, I'm so glad to meet you. I love gardens. I've been feeling a lot for planet Earth, but from my point of view, the amount of love has always been the same. It transforms in where it's showing up. And actually, I see quite a bit of love showing up between neighbors. between people who didn't already know each other, really didn't realize that they did love one another. So much of our idea of love is just that romantic sense, and so much of our pleasure is even pushed through that. And in this moment, I've noticed on Earth, it's showing up in all its many forms, pleasure included. Those of us who are close to gardens, having gardens, know what pleasure and love comes up just from being with the earth. And during this time, I really have seen quite a bit of love and also quite a bit of pleasure. Maybe the slowing down really has shown us what matters. And I really do think humans are catching on that love is really what matters. Love is what matters.
One last question for you from our fungi.
Oh, I love fungi.
Hi, Venus. How you doing? Amanita here. Call me Manny. Just had a quick question for you. As you know, me and my brothers and sisters are all about connection. And I wanted to ask you about love and connection. What do you think is the most important part about being able to connect with another being? Thanks.
Dear Manny, what a wonderful question. I'm so glad to hear from you. And I know you know all about connection. I think the most important thing about connecting to another, loving another, is twofold. First is acknowledging, knowing, remembering that the connection is already there. We're just traveling that connection. And the second is also knowing where it is you're traveling to, knowing that from where you stand, your orbit is not the same as anyone else's. And so when we travel those lines of connection, we're traveling to another universe, the universe of another, really honoring and respecting the location of that other mushroom, other being. Yes. Thank you, Manny.
He was really excited to get the opportunity to talk to you, Venus, like we all are today. So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my ultimate pleasure. I'm so happy to have another pleasure of the day.
Yeah, Venus, in terms of return, I have some anxiety of all the pressure to return to normal right now, and how some people are really in favor of that and need that to survive, and I respect that. And, how do we safely connect, or what could be a way to not just go back to normal, I guess?
From where I am here in Gemini, I totally understand that pull, and I feel that pull, the desire to return to this idea of normal, this turning in and seeing what isn't working, what never was working. And this is the time when fantasy and pleasure really serves us. If we lean into old patterns, old patterning, both individual and collective, we could see what isn't working, allow ourselves to feel that, see that, be in all of it, and then imagine, fantasize a world that would be pleasurable and livable, where love could reign supreme.
I want to return to that world.
I don't think it's a return. I think it's one that we have to create. I think it's one that we have to fantasize and then live into.
Well, and it seems like it would require a lot of strength to do that. I'm just struck by the power that you contain, that perhaps is alive in all of us as well.
I believe it is alive in all of us. I'm a lover. Sometimes love requires a lot of stamina.
Thank you, Venus, for that fantasy. And I just want to slow down myself and not have to rush.
I hope you will. Yeah, it's my pleasure to answer your questions. And your fantasies might be what allows us to return at some point out of our homes into the world. So there's a world we could actually return to. What would it be like to lean into your own pleasure? Maybe one pleasure you miss is being cooked for, but can you lean into what it is to cook, to prepare a meal for yourself, and then to eat it?
Venus, can I tell you a new pleasure that I have found?
Oh, I would delight in that.
I have found so much pleasure in hanging my laundry out to dry.
Oh, I love that.
I never knew it was so ecstatic.
I love that in a number of ways. I mean, surely the metaphor isn't lost on you, and that pleasure of hanging up your clothing, the tactile experience, seeing it blowing in the wind, but also, I mean, this is a time where the laundry is hanging out to dry. We are seeing society's underpants, and it is not a cute look.
We got to put that in the wash.
We need to put it in the wash, and in fact, it is going there. This is it's a slow wash. Hang something out to dry that we really want to see. I'm so glad you're delighting in seeing your underpants blowing in the wind.
Oh, it is great delight for me.
Before we part, thank you so much for being a guest on Lunatalks.
My ultimate pleasure. The beauty of you and your souls and your light and all those sweet fairy and gnome beings, and fungi with questions. It's my ultimate pleasure.
Thank you, Venus.
My pleasure.
And that's all for this cycle of Lunatalks. If you've made it this far, the password is gummy bears. Until next time, when we'll see you on the dark side of the moon. Bye-bye.